Welcome, miracle makers. Welcome. Our special guest today is Greg Larson, and we are jumping into an incredible time on our planet. We're jumping into an incredible time in your life and in our lives. It's so exciting to bring you the latest, greatest version of what can happen for you. Why do I say the latest, greatest version? I've known Greg Larson since July 10th of 2003. Since July 10th of 2003, what I know for sure about this man is he wants to be able to give and give powerfully what it is that's at the root of his heart. He loves to make people happy. He loves to contribute to men and to women, and especially to the extraordinary people that we have in this academy. And over COVID, over 20 years that I've known him now, he has had issues. Who hasn't had issues in 20 years about their weight or about their appearance or about some external factor that would make them feel more powerful if it were a little bit different? And oh my gosh, when we look at ourselves, I can't wait to dive in and share so many of these juicy tidbits and ideas that I've had since we knew we were going to do this. Greg Larson, thank you for coming on and being our special guest, and also for co-founding Miracle Makers Academy. So when you say, oh, I really want to give this to the community, why do you want to give to Miracle Makers? Why do you want to create this a gift that you generated? Why all of this?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for your support and for your love and for your encouragement and for your reflection and for your deep, deep, deep intuitive wisdom. Every day in my grateful visioning process, the first person I give thanks for is you. And
awesome. Thank you.
Very grateful for your spirit, for your love, for your knowledge, for your wisdom, and for your zestful pursuit of following your bliss, of following your dreams. You're a very inspiring person to me.
I want to hug you, and at the same time, I'm like, yes, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that.
And so I'm so grateful that we got a partner on all these projects over the years. I've got to witness you transform thousands of people's lives in such deep and meaningful ways. It has been an honor, really, to have such a kind of up close and personal view of all the work you do and all the lives you touch and all the ways you spread your magic and miraculous ways in the world. It's been an unbelievable journey with you. I'm very grateful.
I'm so grateful. Something spoke, God spoke and said, hang out with this one. And we did. Beautiful, beautiful. What brings us, thank you so much for that. You're so passionate right now about this, so passionate. Why did you want to do today's webinar, share these stories, this next new way that you've invented yourself? You've been, when I met you, you spoke for Institute of Noetic Sciences in Nashville at the Spiritual Center there, Science of Mind Center. So many places across the world have witnessed you speak about being in the moment, about spiritual laws, about truly being a contribution. Wherever you go, you bring service with you. And now here you are, we're about to discover what, what 97% of women struggle with. We're about to dive into secrets and myths that you're dissolving in this conversation. Why do you want to share this?
Well, that's easy, because when I ask, how is God calling me to serve? The answer is with this new program that's being birthed within me right now. And I'm just trying to be still enough every day to catch how God is whispering in my ear to bring this into the world in a way that's, is most beneficial and is clear and is effective, efficient, all those ways. I have definitely lots of ideas, and I've learned a lot over the years. So I've been learning about health since college. It really captured my attention way back when. And I've learned a lot over the years, but I've also, been up and down all over the place throughout my entire adult life with my weight and with my physical health. And so to have finally come to this point now in my life where I'm able I've been able to get to and then also inhabit my blissful body. And even though
Oh,
I've experienced, liberation, on all kinds of different levels of spiritual liberation, this liberation is I would say like one of the most profound, to embody spiritual truth so deeply that the truth of your body is more powerful than the influences of the world around me. And it's reflected very clearly in how I look and how I feel and my actual weight on a scale. To me, I have found it to be a path of spiritual liberation, as well as kind of like a liberation from emotional eating, from unconscious eating, from unconscious kind of lifestyle habits. Because the whole thing is really, is to really not just change the way you eat, but it's to adopt a whole new lifestyle, which I call the blissful body method. And in that, what comes to you is this place of liberation from um, well, a really toxic body, not only just fat, but also just broken, damaged cells, broken DNA, all kinds of debris within the body that has nowhere to go. And unless till you learn how to release that, or how to really burn it up from the inside, it's the source of so much disease within the body. And so, yeah, and then also, so much insights into liberating myself from emotional eating, although that is definitely that's a daily journey as I go through that one. But I've been able to navigate it more consciously than ever. And again, it's reflected very clearly in how I feel,
and
how I'm,
how you
yeah,
feel.
yeah,
It's how you feel. And so we want to jump into and give breakthroughs. It always
yes,
happens in every one of these meetings, every one of these. We dive in and breakthroughs come out as a result of the conversation. Behavior changes. And so what was, share a little bit, I know the story. I know that you were about 208 pounds.
That's right.
When you decided really powerfully to transform. Can you share and walk us through that journey? What was it like being 208 pounds and the before, and what was that emotionally for you? And I love that you came up with the blissful body method, right? So as you're talking about what was before, then you're going to share with us the after, what created the blissful body method. There was years of, when did you start putting on weight, and when was that? How did you, your athletic type, tall, amazingly educated in so many areas, and you coach people. You've been coaching people professionally, and young men, our children, the community, the men's community that surrounds you and adores you, all of them you've been coaching. What was the before? Tell us about you and your eating and your habits before the blissful body method.
Yes, not only do I get to tell you, I get to show you, because just this week I created a before and after picture to post on Facebook and kind of share some of the stories. So I'll share that right now. See if this comes up. Everyone can see that?
I can see it.
There we go. It's funny, I asked people, I need some people's opinion about my hair. Does my hair look better on the left or the right? And I was like, ha ha ha. People were like, oh, the hair looks much better on the right. It was like, they were just like cursory glancing at the text, and they didn't see that I was joking. I was so but the consensus was my hair does look better on the right. Wasn't 100% consensus, but so yeah, that picture on the left, that was me, and it's almost hard to believe that is the place I got to at one point, and that was in December of 2020. It was right between Christmas and New Year's. There was just a lot of holiday feasting, and there was, at that time, there was the lockdowns in Los Angeles from COVID, so we spent a lot of time in the house and binge watching Netflix and snacking. At least I was. So anyways, here I arrived at this place, and all of my spiritual depth and all of my spiritual wisdom and all of my, being active and all the things I've learned over the years, going to the gym, doing this and that and that and this, I still ended up at this spot. And so when I jumped on the scale one day and I looked down and I weighed 208, I was like, oh my gosh, that's the heaviest I've ever seen myself on the scale. And then at the same time, I was, when I look at myself in the mirror, it was not, I was very unhappy, dissatisfied, probably upset, disappointed at how I looked. And I remember specifically, I was so ashamed that I put on a t-shirt to go to bed when Sarah and I went to bed at night, because I didn't like the way I looked so much that I had to cover myself up. And that's the first time I've ever felt that way in my life too. So that's where I would say it began, this journey of really not knowing what to do. Actually, the only thing I really had experience with was doing a master cleanse, which is like a 10-day no food, just the lemonade diet. You just drink fresh squeezed lemonade and do, water with some lemon into it. And I did lose, I think it was down to like 193, but I gained it back pretty quickly after that. So I went on this journey of, discovering how was God going to lead me on this journey? Because I really didn't know when I started out all the things that I've since discovered and adopted and tried out. And so that's where this and it wasn't the blissful body method when I started out. It was just, I have to discover myself again. I have to get back to my truth. The person on the left, that's not my truth. That is, emotional eating, food addiction, loss of willpower, complacent, just like, all the all the states of mental and emotional being that would lead me to this destination right here. And then over the course of the next 2 years, yeah, it was about 2 years later that I ended up at my current weight, which was from 208 to 158. And so it was a journey of losing 50 pounds. And to be honest with you, when I started out, if you would have said, what would be your ideal weight to get down to? I would have said, oh, if I could just get to 183 and maintain it, I would be over the hill happy. If I could just get to 183, which I eventually did, but then God kept revealing to me, even though you don't see it, there is another place for your body and you to go to. And then different messages came into my life. And as I began, stepping into those and applying myself and being committed to what that next step was, I ended up at this place where if you would have told me, one day you could get down to 158, I literally would have laughed in your face and said, that is absolutely impossible for someone who's 6'2". I would never be able to get down to that weight. I've never seen myself on a scale below 170 in my adult life. So the just even saying that would have sounded absolutely absurd. But it wasn't. And when I finally got down to this weight and I feel it now, it is I would have to say, even though maybe you could even help me with this, because I was thinking this the other day, Sarah, is that, when I was 208, my light, my spirit was trapped underneath all of this debris, all of this excess, all of this unnecessary fat, body weight, whatever you want to call it. And now that I'm at this new place, and weight is just one measurement. Literally, what's most important is when I feel into my body, I can feel it so clearly. And for me, my light shines brighter into the world as I embody my blissful body set point, which I'm calling around 158. So does
158. I want to
yeah,
jump in because you
yeah,
asked a great
yeah,
question
yeah,
right there. And I want to just highlight what we've talked about so far. And when I met you, you were doing the Dr. D.
yeah,
Eat for your blood type.
yeah,
And then you shortly thereafter went into, I mean, that was hardcore. You had the list. We knew exactly what you could eat and what you couldn't eat. The foods, Dr. Diamo's method is, oh my gosh, certain things are you have antigens to based on your blood type.
yeah.
And then moving into all of these different arenas over the years, witnessing you become every diet method that every diet method, and you would do a master cleanse about 4 times a year, and then you started doing master cleanses about once or twice a year, and then challenges. You went from paleo to vegan to
Yeah.
all of these different processes and methods. Then you got stressed out during COVID, and
Mm.
in the area in your life, you began letting food eat you, meaning whatever was eating you, you
Yeah,
began eating food. It became a process of whatever was eating you, you would eat food to comfort yourself.
that's right.
Up to
Yeah,
a point that even with your beautiful men's team, everybody out at the ocean playing and shirts off and whatever, you would keep your shirt on because you didn't want men, the people around you, to see the you were hiding under shame. And I remember the conversation once you started learning about the microbiome and about the extraordinary way that your body is a terrain, and that you can modify your terrain and keep it the way that you want it, which is extraordinary. Yes, about 2 years ago, you were the before, and you've now been the after for, I,
A
I
year
want to
now, yeah. It's
a
been a year.
year. Yeah,
Yeah.
for a year, you've been the after, maintaining it, and even more brilliant and passionate about everything that you want to move forward in your life. You're having breakthrough after breakthrough. And I remember this time that you sat down and you apologized. And I want to, and you apologized because there was this, you were hungry and angry at the 208 pounds. You were showing up emotionally not the way you wanted to. There were food cravings and addiction and hiding. I remember you hiding food and wrappers. And I've never judged, or I've always been on your team. You asked what it was, and it came to, Greg, either you're going to be of service, or this food addiction, this trying to not yet having mastered your eating, you're always a slave to that energy. And so you took food and eating and all of that off the shelf differently once you became aware of, to truly be of service, I've got to get to and maintain a weight and a way and a method for yourself. And over this last year, I've witnessed you help men change their mindset around every area of their life. I've witnessed you with the women that are in your life do extraordinary things, extraordinary wisdom gleaned from your over 20 years of experience coaching, teaching, bringing forward the best concepts. And so that I want to bring myself and me back on. Is there anything else that you want to share about this picture? The before was, just to summarize, the before was someone struggling with weight, using other systems, until in 20 years of research that I've known you, you found a method and you've kept the weight off for a year. And now you're bringing this in the most powerful way you know to the world, to bring that love of service in the area that matters most to you in your life. Uh, how your body gives to you to give to others.
Yes, that is, it is. I've been on a journey of following how God is calling me to serve, and how I can inspire and touch the lives of other people for many years, and being in a place where my vitality and light can shine its brightest, I find most optimal.
Most optimal. And
Yeah.
most optimal.
And I
How
think
does he?
really, if anybody asks God, how do you want, how would you want me to be in my body to serve your desires for me, to be in aligned with your desires for me, to be in flow with your desires for me? To me, being in this place, it's, I would share from my point of view in this universe is that God wants for all of us to have a blissful body, or a body that's in almost, I want to say, as perfect as possible harmony with the environment, which is the food we take in, the way that leaves our body, the way it it organizes our cells so they can shine their brightest, so they can breathe their brightest, so there's the least amount of debris and kind of trash and brokenness inside the cells itself. So to me, it is and that's why all this, like I said, I just sit back and like, I am a vessel for your truth, God. Bring to me how you want me to serve. And that's how this whole thing came about, is out of that calling. And so it is my desire to be a stand, not only for my own expression, but for the expression in others. So if they feel called to find their blissful body, I am, will be relentless in my pursuit of whatever information or practices or protocols are available, tested with science or not, whatever I find most effective to facilitate for people so they can reach this space also. I was going to say destination. It is a destination. Getting to your blissful body, set point is kind of a destination, but it's also kind of a rich, I think your full wisdom is unleashed. I think your full capacity, your vitality is released. It's like the light within you is able to shine at its brightest. So it's really beautiful.
It's really beautiful. What a gift. It's really, really beautiful. Is there anything else you want us to know about this picture before you take it off screen?
What I learned on this journey the last couple of years, there was an important discovery about halfway through, which has to deal with emotional eating. And as I was brought aware of this point in my life through this other course that we went through, is that in 7th grade, when I went into 7th grade, there was a series of things that happened that, the way I like to frame it, is I got lost. And as I was sidelined by life, how I dealt with that was soothing myself with food. That's the first time I really remember getting a little chubby, actually, because I was very fit all through grade school, because I was very athletic and in sports. And but in 7th grade, because of those certain situations, that's where I started soothing myself with food. And although, as I'll share a little later, that's normal, it's when that soothing becomes unconscious or dysfunctional, that's when it leads to the unnecessary weight gain. So there's nothing wrong with, oh my gosh, I want to, whatever it is, I want to celebrate, or I want to, today's been a bad day, let me just get a cup of coffee and whatever, a cookie, whatever it is. There's nothing wrong with every human being is emotional. Emotional eating is something everybody on the planet does. Every human being does. But with in our current modern world, with so much just sugar available, which is a very fun comfort food, and bread, everything that's in our modern world, the food landscape, it just makes comforting yourself with food, soothing yourself with food, very dysfunctional very quickly.
Very dysfunctional very quickly, because food is addictive. And I love what you shared. It was so beautiful. What you shared was extraordinary. I guess we can take this picture off the screen when you're ready. What I love that you shared that was extraordinary is the addiction. You have sugar today, or you have something, and your research on willpower. This program of yours, the Blissful Body Method, doesn't require really willpower. What it really requires is breakthroughs and understanding yourself. Can you talk a little bit about, to get into this program, into what has been generated, what does a person need, and what will the program bring?
Well, I want to answer that question, but I feel like it's I want to transition to something which is very important to my approach. And I think it's super important, and it's very different, at least in my experience of, you know, all the different things I've tried and tested and researched. But, you know, for me, not to say that, you know, the weight on the scale isn't important. Like I say, I was like, when I weighed myself and I was like, oh my God, I'm 208. This is, I don't, that number makes me so, feel so bad. But all, and then, like I said, if I would have gotten down to 183, I would have been blissfully happy, or so I would have thought, but I ended up getting much further down. So because that these, there can be, I love this word, there can be a lot of weight hate around traditional approaches and traditional, you know, ways of evaluating how you're doing, or what's going on with you and where you're at on the journey. You know, ultimately the destination for the blissful body is not a, like a metric in a sense, like this weight, although that's part of it, but it's not the primary one. The primary one is the feeling. And so the almost like, it's almost at the top of the list, the most important protocol, the most important health protocol, the most important, you know, metric, the most important, you know, aspect is, you know, at the very start, every participant goes through a guided visualization to lead them to their blissful body. And this is someplace in the future when you have, you know, liberated yourself from the weight, when you have liberated for yourself from the toxins in your body, the damaged DNA, the broken, you know, cell parts. Your body is like a high vibrational organic entity, your body. And so when we bring you to in that future point, and you inhabit that place, and you tune into you lock into the feeling of what that is for you. And then once you understand that, you bring that feeling to this day, and you start every day this way. And it's this process it's called grateful visioning. And the process starts with first just being grateful right now for people in your life, for opportunities in your life, and most importantly, for your body, the way it is right now. No more hate. And your body isn't, your body is not a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of the choices you made in the past. And since you can't change the past, the first thing you have to do is just be grateful for your body the way it is right now. There's nothing wrong with your body the way it is right now. And then once you go through this journey of being grateful for the people in your life, for the opportunities in your life, for the ways you get to serve in your life, and especially being grateful for your body, then you go to your blissful body. And then you feel deeply into that experience, your blissful body. And then you have, you know, who do you love? Who would you love to share this destination with? Because I do this every morning. I go into my grateful visioning, and I go and I have a conversation with my dad. Oh my God, Dad, this is what's happened, and this is what I've accomplished, and it feels so good. I feel great. And my dad's laughing, I'm laughing. Then I have a conversation with Sarah, and I'm like, oh my God, I've done this. I've reached this place. I'm in my blissful body, and I feel so amazing. And I bring that potential that is in you right now. You wouldn't even be able to envision that, who you would be in the future, unless that was within you right now. That's what I learned. It's like there was a 158-pound Greg within me, and I had no idea. But now that I'm here, I realize, wow, it was that visualizing. It was different things for me, but it was visualizing a more elevated, conscious, you know, desirable in a sense place, and I brought that feeling to this moment. And if you're familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza, this is his advice for anybody on a journey of transformation. The memory of the future has to be stronger than the memory of the past. And so,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
even though there's,
so
yeah, go
that's
ahead.
so beautiful. The
Yeah,
memory of the future has to be stronger than the memory of the past.
yeah.
And what I love is you've researched this, you've developed this, you've read and practiced this. And also you, one of my favorite books and doctors is Dr. Lisa Rankin. It's such a beautiful gift to
Mhm.
really enjoy her work as well. It's so extraordinary. She says her research demonstrates for a person to have and share the transformation, to receive it, they've got to have it within them to share. Meaning, a doctor that's overweight does not help you with weight loss. A doctor that's not gone through that radical transformation themselves. That's what Dr. Lisa Rankin's research demonstrates, that a person that hasn't gone through the specific transformation that you're looking for, or doesn't have it for generations within their system or within their body. So, in the areas of wealth, Deepak Chopra can do all of those guided meditations, and because his family for generations had wealth, and he did the transformation. Coming in as an immigrant to the United States transformed those layers of wealth. For Greg here has done the work, has transformed, no matter what size his family or generations were. This blissful body method now has the leader, the founder of it, powerfully transformed for a year and counting, beyond what he could have imagined. That's the area of health. Same thing with wisdom. And that's one of the things that I know you for, is these gems and to connect dots and wisdom. And that's what the breakthroughs that happened, that first one, wow, incredible. Just to summarize it, you embody with another, walking them breakthrough after breakthrough, to be able to remember their blissful body stronger than any urge in the body, any caveat of way that they were in the previously, any way people were in the past. It's let go, because the future pulls them, draws them with powerful leadership into this. What else would you add just about that first step? What a gift to give it.
Well, that's it. And it is, the past, because we energize it by thinking about it so much. I mean, I've been on a spiritual journey since college, and that's been there's like two things. It's like be in the present moment as much as possible. And when that past starts or the future starts taking you out of the present moment, you have to like generate as much consciousness as possible through all these spiritual practices to bring your attention right back here. But that is a challenge, and that's always been acknowledged by every spiritual teaching for as far back as it goes. Wow, the gift of human being, the gift of the human experience is that we can think into the future and we can remember the past, but at the same time, we are the different older functions of the human brain. Once they're embedded in a certain, or once they're the paths are created in a certain way, you can really think about a past that's negative and have that so powerfully impact this present moment. And that's why Dr. Joe said that. So what did he discover to counter that? You create a memory of the future And that's why we spend the first week just doing that, creating that memory of the future, making that so beautiful and alive and desirable and whole and aligned and with integrity. And you bring that into your future every morning in this grateful visioning process, and let that, you almost like when you wake up and you do that first thing in the morning, you signal to the cells in your body, this blissful body experience is more important than the emotions you're soothing yourself from the past.
Beautiful. From the past.
Yeah.
So what's the real reason that restrictive diets are the worst approach? What is the real reason?
Yeah. What, like this is great because we're just kind of, this is our first time doing this. We're just kind of navigating this. I was going to get into all that with the, as I move into the next section here, which kind of the 3 pillars of the program. And so, but I just wanted to start with there, that, I don't know of another program out there where that becomes the focus. It's almost like you can go online and there is all the information you need to transform your life is there. As people say, it's like with the internet, it's like everyone should have 6-pack abs and be millionaires. It's like all the information is there. We just don't do it. And so how can we begin approaching it in a different way so the information that is there is something we actually do? And so for me, the first step is to that's what I'm saying. It's like, yes, I'm going to show you a way to eat. Yes, I'm going to show you a way to navigate the journey of emotional eating and what you can do to mitigate some of that. And yes, I'm going to show you a way to move your body. That's the best way to move your body for losing weight and generating flow. But to me, if you are not creating a future, a dream of the future that's stronger than the dream of your past, all that information it can be meaningless.
Can be meaningless.
Yeah,
All of
yeah,
that information, you
yeah.
can find it everywhere.
Yeah,
And
it's
so it's not
everywhere.
a restrictive diet. That's not the reason you haven't lost it, is what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
not food addiction. It's not hating exercise. It's
Yeah.
not a slow metabolism. It's not all of these things. It is within the blissful body method. No matter what you've tried, it works because it's an approach that is from your body to every cells, and you command it and control it. It's so beautiful. So you're stepping into the 3 pillars.
Yeah, kind of the 3 pillars. Yeah, yeah. And so, again, these are things that I did when I started this journey at 208, in 2020. I would have, none of this was really in my awareness. Parts of it were, but not like specific ways to go about it. And so all these things I've tried, all these things I still am on a journey with every day. It's a journey I take every day when I wake up. My intention is clear. I'm going to start with my grateful visioning, and some days while I navigate it pretty good with how my intentions for movement and for eating and for being emotionally balanced, and other days, woo, it's all out the door and I'm like, Tyler, let's go get some ice cream or whatever it might be. It's just like, I'm by far not perfect, but because I am more perfect more often than ever before, when I weighed myself this morning, I was 157. And so it's still a reflection that I still have, I'm even though I'm still navigating it every day. It's like an ocean, one day you go to the ocean, there's no waves. The next day you go to the ocean, there's huge waves, slamming over the breaker walls and like wiping out furniture. And it's like, hey, that's life on Earth. There is big emotions someday. There is, and other days it's calm seas. And the more days that you can find some calm seas with a nice breeze to like sail the way you want to sail, that's a good day. And other days it's going to be a storm and you're going to have to like, take the sail down and lock in the, the rudder and get into the cabin and seal the hatch and like let that thing ride out. And like, woo, you come out the next morning and it's like, oh my gosh, it's a clear sunny day and I am going to sail my boat again in the direction I want to sail it. So I think you just have to be, that just flowed out of me. There's God talking right there. That's completely.
That's God talking right there.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
when that's happening for you. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
So that's it. So it's like I'm by means no perfect, but by adopting what I want to share with you, it's helped me find those better sailing days for my life, so I can sail in the direction of my dreams, so I can sail through choices that are most aligned with how I think and how I feel and what I've learned. So once we get into this, creating this grateful visioning and finding your blissful body set point, then we can actually move kind of into the real world, because there's just the science is there, the experts have concluded, pretty clear that any journey of, for sure, losing weight but maintaining your weight has to do with food. And
So
yeah,
is this program for everyone, or is it
it is for everyone? Yes. Yeah, because everyone, these are just kind of like they're parameters that I set forth, and everybody who comes in has to bump up against them, try them out, test them out, and see how it works, and then we navigate forward. But to me, they're just really solid, guardrails to start.
Guardrails to start. I love that Hippocrates, right? It's the father of modern medicine as we see it in the West. And it's so incredible. Let thy food be thy medicine. And so I love, again, just to highlight, I'm going to stop this video here in just a second. I want to, so that we have a second video. We are the navigators of our lives. Cheers. This is what Robin writes. Cheers. Cheers. And to let yourself clear the sails. Let's see if I can cheers. Clear the sails, whether it's smooth seas or rough waters. Find the better sailing days. Thank you. Such a gift. Find better. So the blissful body method, sailing, so beautiful. I've witnessed you sailing with your men, taking this entire incredible journey that you're on, and these three things that you've gleaned. I want to separate this video and jump into the next video with those three. So I'm going to stop the recording here.
All right.
And then we'll jump into those.